Hello everybody, Oddball here, and it's been quite a few months. Um, I've been running really low on energy. I think I might have mentioned that in my last video. I just felt drained all the time and all of that. Um, well, I found out that it's a combination of two things. My thyroid is hypoactive and my numbers were really low. So 2 weeks ago I started taking some medication to help that out. And then also I had a sleep study last week, part 1 of my sleep study, which shows that I have sleep apnea, and I'll find out on the 19th where I lie, but the lady was pretty sure I was in the either upper moderate to severe. She says I stopped sleeping quite a lot. So that also can contribute to not getting rest and feeling tired. So a lot's been happening as far as my health. And I haven't been making any updates as far as my tea changes because, excuse the noises, my my laptop's like restarting. Because I felt like there wasn't really any change. If you go back and watch my last one, I just talk about really, as far as physical things are concerned, I felt like fat redistribution is only just now starting, but it's hard to really tell because I am a fat person. I mean, I'm sure you can see my pelican neck here. And honestly, I'm like 30 or 40 pounds lighter than I was just before I started tea. I was at 280 pounds maybe a couple months before I started testosterone, and now I'm about, we'll say 250. I've been under 250 a bit, I think 245 at one point, but I'm probably 250 right now. I haven't felt like doing any updates because I didn't feel like I could really give you any information other than I still don't pass, which I know a lot of people hate that term. I don't really like the term very much because it implies that you're acting, you're playing a part, but I get clocked as female most of the time. And it's frustrating. I ended up quitting my job. I don't know if I talked about this in my last video. I should probably go back, but just in case, I did quit my job for a lot more reasons than just dealing with dysphoria and being mammed all day. My grades went into the shitter for school, and my mom's health has gotten worse to where she needs more help around the house, so it's for those reasons as well. But since I haven't been working, any bills or anything that I need is coming out of my savings, and I'll be lucky to have $1,000 in there. When, the beginning of the summer, or towards the end of the summer, I had a little over 4,000. So, you just start feeling bad, and then I was extremely tired and didn't know why. And, man. So I guess I'll go into just the physical stuff for now. And then I'm going to go into a life update after this. So as far as physical stuff, I've noticed that, more hair, really. It's more hair. Like the shins and knees and thighs of my legs have been getting hairier and hairier, but I never mentioned really the back sides, like my calves and, where my hamstrings are. My ham hocks, as I call them, have been relatively hairless in a way, and now hair's starting to fill in there. So that's pretty neat. As far as facial hair is concerned, I did shave today, and the reason I shaved is I'm finally starting to get some hairs coming in here and here, but more on this side than this side, which I don't know why it does that, but it does. And what I would do, because I do get hair here and along here, but it's not enough to where it's, it still looks like basically like a female facial hair pattern still. It's not enough for someone to go, oh, you must be a guy, because I hardly get anything here. It's all peach fuzz with some dark hairs dotted in here that are kind of faint and hard to see still. And usually a mustache is the first thing that comes in. Not for me. But I was starting because of the acne, which you can kind of see, I think, this is actually pretty tame, and it's been getting better. I would just trim with a beard trimmer, keep everything short, and, I'll go from there because shaving kind of makes the acne worse. Well, in doing that, all the peach fuzz that's now coming in here and slowly turning into darker hairs, like actual hair instead of a peachy fuzz, whenever I do the trimmer, it wouldn't trim those because they were just able to get away from being clipped somehow. And so then I had this like magnitude of like, it just didn't look good. It looked, I looked dirty all the time or something. I don't know. I didn't like the look, so I decided to give it a good shave since peach fuzz takes forever to grow back in. And then I can kind of better see what dark hairs, because those are going to grow faster, I do have along here. So I'm going to close that. Sorry. And yeah, so I mean, hairline. Okay, you see this here in, it's definitely masculizing. This was full of hair before, so I definitely, you know, I don't know if I'm going bald anywhere else. I was losing some hair, but I'm pretty sure I talked to my doctor and that was due to the hypoactive thyroid. My neighbor's upstairs, and like, so I know that I can be kind of heard, so I'm going to be talking a little bit lighter. And if you can't hear me, sorry, just turn it up. That's the only thing about living in not a house, you know, you live in an apartment complex. Even though, you know, it's not like we hear every little thing our neighbor says or whatever. If you're loud, if you talk at a regular, you know, whatever, and it's nighttime, you're going to be able to kind of hear a bit of the conversation, and this is very personal. As far as, you know, that's it. You know, it's been hard. I'm 1 year and 4.5 months on testosterone, and I still use the women's restroom. There's no way I'll go into a men's restroom, or, you know, or locker room or anything, because I have enough feminine still about me. My face, my chest, really is the main thing. But my face, it's enough for someone to overwhelmingly believe, okay, you're a female, and I'm mammed, you know, and it sucks. It's getting really sucky. So I don't typically go out much, unless I have to, because it's just kind of a downer now. Like, I could deal with it at first in the beginning, but now I'm like closing in on 1.5 years on T, and, you know, I'm still mammed. And a lot of it is like people I live around, yeah, they're going to, because they knew me first as a female. They don't know what I'm going through unless my neighbor upstairs can hear what I'm talking about now. But I don't know, it just, I'm very happy where I am. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of changes. Like, my voice is the main thing. If I'm just heard, I am absurd, you know. But it is getting hard to, you know, I'm living as a male, but I'm not treated or seen as one in society. And I don't blame them, because they only have so much to go on, you know. But, I don't know, things need to change, you know. So really, hair, you know, masculine, you know, whatever. I mean, it's the same thing. That hasn't really changed. It's just a slow process, but it's getting there. You know, as far as life update stuff, I mentioned my job. I don't remember if I mentioned that in the last one, but yeah, I'm going to school right now and I'm taking care of my mom, but that's been hard because I've been so fucking tired. At least we know what it is now. Also, I got sick, and then I was better for a week, and then this week I got sick again, and that just throws everything off. Cleaning the house, I've missed a lot of school, and this is the beginning of my school term, and this particular term is really important because if I don't do well this term, I'm going to lose my financial aid. That's how bad it's been getting. Part of me wants to take a break from school after this, but then what am I going to do, you know? I just feel like there's so much weighing me down that it's hard for me to even think about even going to school, even though I know how important it is to me, you know? I need a skill set, so I'm not doing 9 to 5 retail work. Retail work isn't even 9 to 5. It's whenever the fuck they want you to come in. And, you know, the wages are getting a bit better, but still, I couldn't afford, like, if you can't even get full-time. I'd have to work 2 part-time jobs, and then I'd be working every day, and I still wouldn't be making enough. to afford to live on my own, at least, especially with transition stuff. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, I do have some pretty decent, hopeful news. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you'll remember that a year ago I went in and had a top surgery consult with Dr. Kuzan at U of M in Ann Arbor. And we applied to my insurance, and they denied me because I'm transgender. So things have happened. I got a call from a man that works there in the transgender union. I'm not going to mention his name. And my job was to call my insurance company now, because Obama was here in Michigan over the spring and he attended this, and they were talking about like all the school stuff that's going to be put into motion. Well, another thing they talked about is transgender and LGBT rights and laws that are going into place. So technically speaking, at the very least by 2017, all insurance companies, including and especially Medicaid, are supposed to cover transgender needs. Like, if you got to be able to prove that you need surgery and whatever, and then they'll pay for it. Or I don't know if there's a percent, up to a certain percent or what. Excuse me. But, you know, I'll get into that. So I called my insurance company, the company that a year ago turned me down for the surgery, and I found someone finally, and they looked into my program, or whatever you call it, and found that the surgery is in fact covered. Transgender services are covered for me. So I was like, well, I need specifically, you know, I want double mastectomy, I want top surgery. Look into that one specifically, and she did, and she went the line of the requirements, and I've already done them all except for one. One's halfway through. The only other one I need is 2 doctors in the same office to give, how do I say this, to refer me for the surgery. Well, I already have Dr. Kuzan's approval, so we need to get another doctor. And I do need to call back and make sure the other steps that I've already done, if I have to redo them because it was a year ago, or if whatever's on file is good enough, and then go from there. So I might be having my top surgery sooner than I thought, and not fully at least paid out of my pocket. It might be covered by my insurance. I don't know what percent. I'm hoping it's 100%. But we'll see. So that is going to be a game changer for me. Top surgery. It is for everyone who gets it. But most of the trans guys I follow are able to bind and hide their chest well enough. And about 5, 6, 7 months on T, they're able to live pretty successfully as a male. You know, I can't hide mine no matter what. I tried binding. It didn't work for me. You know, it didn't hide anything anyway. It's going to be a game changer. I think I'll still, at first, you know, my face, I say, is androgynous, but I think that it's still feminine enough to where people, you know, clock me as female. And so I'll probably still I know I'll have to deal with that for a bit after even top surgery, but, you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel for this. Now it's just a matter of, tomorrow I'm going to call the guy back I need to talk to at U of M and let him know what I found out, and then we can make our game plan and go from there. So I'll keep you posted on what's going on with that, as far as my updates are concerned, and also like some health stuff. I'll still do T updates and stuff, but pretty much like I'm still doing, you know, when something significant enough is a change. And you know, so sorry if I seem so ho-hum. It's starting to get a little hot in here. I had to cool it down, but if I have the fan on, then you can't hear me. And also, I'm just tired all the time. I've been sick this week. I'm just tired. I'm a tired person, but that's going to be turning around too. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I do get a little sad and stuff about I'm living as a male, but I'm not really seen as one. But I'm getting there. You know, I'm very happy of where I am. I mean, I'm only in the beginning stages of my transition. A year and almost a half is by no means a majority of it. You know, it's the very beginning, it's my baby steps, and I do get that. But, you know, I can still feel down about certain things, you know, about the process, because it's not an easy process. It isn't. So, it's okay to feel a little down every now and then when, you know, certain things you'd hope would be in place that's the majority of the time. For other people it does seem like it is. It isn't. But then again, I have to take my age into consideration. I turned 38 this year. You know, I only started medically transitioning a year and almost a half ago. You know, I mean, that's a long time of estrogen to fight, you know. So, anyways, talk to you guys later. If you have any comments for me, go ahead and leave them below. You know, and I'm sorry I haven't really kept up on anyone else's videos. Sorry about that. Again, I've been just tired. I've been asleep. So, alright, take care. Bye.